everyone, it's me, B at Kelly Sunflower. So I thought I'd hop on today and do a side-by-side comparison of the Crystal Ball Oracle by Athene Notula. So it recently came out as a mass market edition, being published by Hay House, and I got this yesterday. And this black edition is the indie deck that I got a few years ago. So I thought I'd show you the differences. I think this one was about £6 in price, and this one may have been about 18 if I can remember. Okay, so the black one comes in a pull-up kind of box, and the blue one comes in a box with side thumbs. Also, at the back of the blue box, it gives you a description. This 13-card Oracle deck is an easy-to-use divination tool with a mystical image on each card, along with simple, straightforward answers to your questions. Simply shuffle the pocket-size deck and draw a single card to reveal answers to all life's questions, big and small. And the indie deck has nothing at the back. So before I compare these decks side by side, I just wanted to have a little chat with you and talk to you on how I use these cards. So these cards are 13 Oracle cards, and I tend to use them when people give me like a question that is like a yes, no, or maybe answer. Or maybe I've given somebody a tarot reading or a Lenormand reading, and they've got further questions to ask. I may shuffle this deck and give them 3 more cards to answer the question further. I wouldn't use these cards on their own. I use them in conjunction with either a tarot, Lenormand, or Oracle deck for further answering. So the independent deck is a lift-off deck, and it's quite slippery. And the mass market deck is a bit more secure. It's one of these ones that you have to put your thumb in to lift it up. The mass market deck comes with a pull-out pamphlet or guidebook, but it's more of a pull-out one, and it kind of discusses the deck. It tells you how to use the deck, and then each card has got a meaning. So each of the 13 cards, so for example, yes, this is a clear, strong, passionate response to your question. No, this is the most absolute no in the deck. Nothing fussy or ambiguous. This no means business. So this, tells you what the cards mean. So the independent deck doesn't have that pocket pull-out guidebook. So let's compare both decks side by side. Take this off. So the backs are kind of very similar, but the mass market edition is quite a bit bigger than the indie edition. As you can see, there's quite a difference in size. I would say that the mass market size is the size of a Lenormand deck, bridge size, or even like pocket size tarot card. So let's turn them round and so the first card is yes. And as you can see, the mass market one is more brighter, more bigger. the picture is the same, but the color palette and the sharpness is slightly different. And this yes card is obviously, if you get a reading and the card says yes, that means that whatever you're asking or whatever you're thinking could be true. These cards to me are more predictive. But then, as I always say, it's entertainment purposes only. And then the no card obviously is for no. And again, this card seems to be a bit more brighter than this card, but the actual pictures are the same. It's just the color palette. Go, the time is right. So this kind of answer, you know, I might ask the cards, is it the right time for me to go on holiday? And if I got a tarot card reading, like a 3-card spread, and I wasn't happy with that answer, or I wanted a bit more clarity, and this card came up, then I would know that it's the right time to book my holiday. Not the right time. You might have fallen out with somebody, maybe you want to reconcile. You know, you might ask the tarot cards a question. You know, is it okay to reconcile? You might get a tarot spread that's not really answering the question. You pull this card out and you know that it's not the right time to make that reconciliation. You're going in the right direction. So you might want to start up a business, or you might be looking for work. And again, you do somebody a tarot spread and the answer's inconclusive, then if you get this card, then you know that you are building on that direction. And again, same kind of picture. This one's more, you get more detail in the mass market one. People say that a lot of people say, oh, that they used divination, you know, as a reflective tool or to heal, but 99.9% of the questions that I get asked when I give readings are predictive. I never get a reading for growth. Yeah, I personally think that if you're using divination cards for growth, that you use that in line with a medical practitioner, like a psychotherapist, because I don't think we've got the power to heal ourselves without medical intervention. But that's just my own personal opinion. Others might have a different agreement, but to me, these cards are predictive. Yeah, they're specifically for predictive questions because they're kind of like predictive answers, even though tarot is entertainment purposes only. So this one, choose a new direction. You know, so that might be, for example, if someone's having a career reading and you know they're anxious to get a job and that they can't find that right job, or maybe somebody's looking to date and they're not finding the right partner, and you get this card, choose a new direction, then you know that the direction that you're seeking is not correct. No need to worry. Again, similar pictures, just different color palettes, and the mass market one, you've got more to look at. Unlikely. I like this kind of answer because it's a polite way of saying no. Will so-and-so come back to me? That's quite a common question that I get in love readings. Unlikely. No, that's just a polite way of saying it. Listen to your intuition. Sometimes you get questions where people ask you, is so-and-so doing this? Sometimes you're asking that question because you feel that there's something wrong. And this card is just confirming it. Listen to your intuition. Your gut never lies. Well, my gut never lies. Get more information. This to me, in my readings, normally means that somebody's being narrow-minded and making judgments. So sometimes people have got a question about a particular situation. I'll give them a reading and they're not happy with the reading I've given them. So if I shuffle this card to complement the reading and it says get more information, it means that the person's just most of the time being a bit narrow-minded and not looking at other options before they make the decision. Let go. Will she, he, they, them come back to me? Just let go. The person's moved on. Or how does so-and-so feel about me? Let go. That's what this card means. Person's moved on. Reconsider. This could be a number of things. Maybe you've had an argument and you're considering leaving a relationship and this card comes up. It means, have a second thought. Or if you're planning on doing something and you're asking the cards for confirmation and you get this card, in the reading, it just means think carefully before you make your choice, basically. And then this one, this is the sign. So I'm going to read you out the guidebook definition for this one. So it says in the pull-out pamphlet for the mass market deck, sometimes we find ourselves in limbo, putting off making decisions or taking next steps towards something we're unsure of. If you have been searching for a sign that you should do, leave, or start something, this is the sign. This also means that depending on the question you have asked, this is an affirmative card, a form of yes. Think of your green light and take action. But I also see this card as kind of like using your intuition card. But, everyone's got different meanings to how they view things. So this is the Crystal Ball Oracle, mass market and indie comparisons. So let's just give these cards a bit of a shuffle. The mass market deck. So they shuffle good. They're not a lot of cards, so but they're good shufflers. Thickness wise, they're the same kind of thickness. Shuffle the indie deck. And you can bridge, riffle, overhand shuffle, blah, 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 blah. What do I think of this deck? I actually love it. It's one of my favorite oracle decks. It's more of a clarification deck for me. People complain and say, oh, there's not enough cards. But you don't actually do a full reading with these cards. You pull out a few cards to complement a reading. Well, that's how I use this deck. So it's more of a complementary deck to add a layer to a reading. I wouldn't use this deck for a full reading unless the person wanted like a 3-card reading maybe. But, it's more of a predictive layer. So I will add links to the mass market deck, and if I can, I'll also add links to the indie deck, but I'm not sure whether this indie deck is in print again. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.